What if I told you that being average with your money is actually a recipe for financial stress and decades of anxiety? Most people think they're doing okay because they fit in with the crowd. But according to the latest data, ordinary finances in America aren't what you think. If you picture the typical person as calm, organized, and steadily preparing for retirement, you might want to brace yourself. Today, I'm revealing the exact numbers behind what Americans truly earn, save, and spend, and by the end, you'll have a 5-step checklist to be better than average with your money, no matter where you start. So, buckle up, because some of these statistics might surprise you. And some could seriously change the way you think about your own bank account. Ready to see how you really stack up? Let's jump in. First, let me introduce myself. I'm John, and this is Money Masters, where I break down the real numbers and strategies you need to get your finances on track and outpace the average American. If that's your goal, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button if this helps you out. Let's set the stage. Do you see the average American as well-prepared, building wealth, and ready for retirement, or as someone living paycheck to paycheck, barely keeping up? The truth is, most of us have no idea what's truly normal when it comes to money, because our assumptions are usually based on social media or the people immediately around us, and they can be wildly off the mark. Knowing these real numbers isn't just trivia. It's your guide for what normal actually looks like, so you can decide. Do you want to hit those averages or blow them away and aim much higher? Think about it. If you're training for a marathon, you'd want to know the average runner's pace. If you want to ace your exams, you'd want to know where your classmates are scoring. With money, the same logic applies. Context matters, and today, I'm arming you with it, so you can set meaningful goals instead of just guessing. So, let's start with the first, and arguably the biggest benchmarks. Income. According to the latest Bureau of Labor Statistics data, the median weekly earnings for a full-time American worker are just over $1,000. For context, that's about $52,000 per year before taxes. Remember, this is individual income, not household, and median means half earn more, half earn less. If you're making roughly $26 per hour, you're right on target for the average. But here's where it gets real. That $52,000 drops fast once Uncle Sam takes his share. After federal and state taxes, plus Social Security and Medicare, you're likely seeing take-home pay between $35,000 and $40,000. Depending on where you live, suddenly, average doesn't seem quite so comfortable. Pause and comment below. Where does your after-tax income land compared to the $35,000 to $40,000 take-home average? I'd love to see how members of the Money Masters community stack up. And you may be surprised at how similar we all are. But income is just the start. What really counts is how you use what you earn. Next up, retirement savings. Here come the numbers that wake up a lot of people. The Federal Reserve's latest survey pegs the median United States retirement account balance at just $65,000. That's not a typo. And that includes everyone with a retirement account, leaving out the 1 in every 4 Americans who don't even have one. That's right. 1 in every 4 working Americans has exactly $0 stashed for retirement, meaning they're planning to either work indefinitely or rely only on Social Security, assuming it's still around when they need it. For those who do have savings, the age-by-age story is eye-opening. Under 25, median retirement balance is a measly $2,000 or less. If you're 23 and have started with $2,000, you're already ahead of many. Congratulations, but understand us. This is the phase where every dollar you invest can grow the most. The 25 to 34-year-olds median jumps, but only to about $14,000. That's after years of work and promotions. By age 65 and up, the median climbs to $88,000. Not bad at first glance, but let's put it into perspective with the 4% rule. $88,000 times 0.04 equals $3,520 per year you could withdraw for sustainable retirement income. That's less than $300 per month. Take a moment. Would $300 a month cover groceries, medicine, utilities, and all the comforts you want in retirement for almost everyone? The answer is no. And if you're shocked, you're not alone. Most people don't realize how little the average retirement account holds until the day they finally check. Let's layer in Social Security. The Social Security Administration reports the average monthly benefit is about $1,550 or $18,600 per year. This sounds like it might fill some of the gap. But if you've had career breaks, earned below average, or retire early, your check could be much less. In fact, some people simply assume they'll get nothing from Social Security and treat anything they receive as a bonus, which honestly, given the program's funding challenges, is a pretty prudent mentality. Here's where it gets even more interesting. These averages are not just numbers. They're a direct window into real choices people are making, and mistakes that are all too common. But here's where most people get stuck, and how you can beat the average. Stay tuned, because in just a minute, I'll show you a step-by-step checklist to move your finances out of average territory for good. But first, let's talk about something that hits home every day. Spending. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average American household spends around $5,577 per month, or about $67,000 per year. Yes, that's spending, not earning. So, if your take-home income isn't at least $67,000 per year per household, you're already behind the break-even line, before accounting for savings, emergencies, or building wealth. Where does the money go? The biggest chunk, $1,885 per month on housing. That's rent or mortgage. Plus property taxes, insurance, utilities, and maintenance. A total of about $22,000 per year. If you live in an expensive city like San Francisco or New York, you might be laughing at how low that sounds, but for much of the country, that's reality. Second on the list, food. $691 per month on groceries and dining out. That's $8,292 per year. If you're spending less than this, you're mastering frugal living, or maybe you love ramen. Transportation chews up another $913 per month for car payments, insurance, gas, repairs, and public transit. Nearly $11,000 per year just to get around. If you add $1,885 for housing and $913 for transportation, that's already $2,798 per month. Just over 50% of the total budget spent before anything else is considered. Many experts advise keeping housing plus transportation below 50% of your net income. And these numbers show just how tight things can be for the average household. But here's the kicker. That still leaves the other half of your spending: health care, insurance, personal care, debt payments, entertainment, and so on. Average living is expensive. But before you feel overwhelmed, ask yourself, how does your monthly outflow compare? Are you above or below the $5,500 mark, sir? Comment below with your biggest expense. That way, we can crowdsource some real solutions together. Now, picture this. Imagine someone, let's call her Sarah, age 29, bringing home $40,000 after taxes, spending $5,000 a month supporting herself, and thinking she's doing okay. When she reviews her numbers, she realizes she's actually overspending by over $1,000 a month and carrying it on high-interest credit cards. She thought she was just like everyone else, until those averages made her realize something needed to change. What did she do? She started tracking expenses, trimming unnecessary costs, and made paying off debt a priority, which changed her financial path dramatically in just a year. Speaking of debt, let's cover perhaps the biggest destroyer of American wealth, credit card debt. According to Experian, the average household carries over $9,000 in credit card balances. Let that sink in. $9,000, not on assets or investments, but on spending already gone. Likely on clothes, gadgets, dinners out, and online impulse buys. Even worse. The average credit card interest rate is 15 to 25% at 20%. $9,000 in debt locks you into $1,800 a year in interest. Alone. That's money literally thrown away, not building your retirement. Just padding the bank's profits. Now, you might say, most households have emergencies. So isn't carrying some card debt normal? Yes, emergencies happen. But the data shows much of America's $9,000 average comes from non-essentials. The lesson is simple. Pay off your credit cards in full every month. Or make eliminating that balance your urgent financial priority, even above investing. There's no point earning 7% in stocks if you're losing 20% to card companies. But there's more. Most people are unaware just how much their credit score is shaping their financial trajectory. The average American FICO score is 715, according to Experian, which qualifies as good credit. Scores range from 300 to 850. So 715 is a solid B, though it doesn't mean everyone is sitting pretty. Many have scores in the 500s and 600s and end up paying much more for loans, or get denied altogether. Your credit score impacts not just loans, but things like insurance premiums and even some job applications. The formula for keeping it up isn't rocket science. Pay on time. Don't max out your cards. Avoid applying for every 10% off at the register. Yet, despite being straightforward, it's a spot where many struggle. That's why tracking your score regularly is essential, and many free resources can help, like Credit Karma, or even some credit card issuers' apps that provide a monthly update and tips. Where do you stand? Drop a credit card emoji in the comments if you've ever been surprised by your credit score. Good or bad, so far, we've covered income, spending, credit, and retirement savings. But net worth is the big picture number that ties it all together. Net worth is everything you own. Your house, investments, cars, cash, minus everything you owe, mortgage, loans, card debt. According to the Federal Reserve, the median United States household net worth is about $122,000. Like all these stats, that's the median, not the average, which helps avoid skewing by a handful of outliers, but age matters a lot. If you're under 35, the median net worth is less than $14,000. For ages 35 to 44, it's $91,000. By 45 to 54, median jumps to $168,000. Then $212,000 for those 55 to 64, over 65. The median hits $266,000. The good news: these numbers are absolutely achievable with consistent effort and some baseline financial discipline. You don't need a six-figure salary or Silicon Valley stock options. You just need a plan. The key is simple. Spend less than you earn and invest the difference, year after year. But the how is what trips most people up. So keep watching for the step-by-step plan coming up. Let's take a quick story break. Meet Chris, 34. For years, he thought his $20,000 savings meant he was set. Until he actually measured his net worth and realities like student debt and a car loan knocked it below $5,000. Instead of giving up, he used that shock to build a basic budget and set 1 year, 5-year, and 10-year net worth milestones. Fast forward, and his net worth doubles in 2 years. Not by earning more, but by tracking, cutting lifestyle creep, and committing to invest every month. Chris is proof. Knowing the real numbers gives you the map to do better. But before you get inspired and start comparing, let's review saving rates. The Bureau of Economic Analysis reports the typical American saves about 6% of their after-tax income. That means out of $40,000 after tax. That's $2,400 saved per year. Now, think about your own goals. The average United States down payment is $62,000. A kitchen renovation costs $26,000. And a new car averages $47,000. With only 6% set aside from short-term and long-term savings, it's hard to reach these goals and invest enough for retirement. Most financial experts advise saving at least 10 to 15% of your income just for retirement, on top of saving for other needs. Want to retire early or just avoid stress? Beat these rates, and you'll already be ahead of tens of millions. But there's a critical mistake most people make next, and how you can avoid it. So let's keep going. Here's a question. When do Americans actually retire? If you guessed 65, you're close, but not quite. Recent data says the average retirement age is actually 61. Sounds promising. Until you remember, full Social Security benefits don't kick in until 67. That's a 6-year gap you'll have to fund yourself, with either your own savings or part-time income. Most work for 39 years. Then attempt retirement, often with just $88,000 saved, as we saw before, which equates to only $300 a month in sustainable withdrawals. Is it any wonder that most retirees worry about money? Now, layer on this reality. The Social Security Administration says that if you make it to age 65, it features you can expect to live another 19 to 21 years, retire at 61, and you could easily be looking at 25 years or more to fund without a paycheck. So ask yourself, are you prepared for a retirement that's about as long as your working life up to now? Take a moment to consider, how would you bridge that 6-year gap if you retired early? And how does that affect your current savings or investment plan? Jot down your answer or share in the comments. Here's where I want to pause and drive this home. Average isn't safe. It's a warning sign. Being average with money in America means you could easily end up broke, anxious, or unable to enjoy the retirement you've worked decades for. But here's where things change. Because now you know the real numbers, and you can act ready. Here are the 5 steps anyone can use to move from average to ahead with money. No matter where you're starting today, grab a pen, screenshot this list. Or better yet, download the free personal financial benchmarking checklist I've linked below to Audit your own finances line by line as we go. Step 1. Audit and benchmark your net worth. Don't guess, actually measure it. Add up every asset, including your home equity, investments, savings, car value, and subtract every debt. Mortgage, loans, credit cards. Use the editable Net Worth and Savings Tracker. Download link below. To update your numbers monthly and see real progress. Step 2. Boost your savings rate to 15%. If you're at 6%, work up month by month. Automate transfers to savings and retirement accounts, and prioritize consistent contributions. Tools like Mint, You Need a Budget, or your bank's goal-setting features can help make this a set-and-forget habit. Step 3. Destroy high-interest debt. On-site, attack credit card balances before investing more. Use the avalanche, highest interest first, or snowball, smallest balance first, method. Both proven by research. Once your credit cards are at zero, redirect those payments to your investments and watch your net worth grow. Step 4. Invest consistently in low-cost index funds. Even small, regular investments compound over decades. Far more powerful than waiting for the right time. And research from Vanguard shows that fees are a major drag on retirement growth. So stick to low-cost index options rather than high-fee mutual funds or trading platforms. Step 5. Review. Set new milestones and repeat. Check your benchmarks every 3 to 6 months. Adjust your goals. Aim for net worth milestones each decade. Savings rate increases. And keep learning from the community. Benchmarking isn't failure, it's feedback. Each step moves you further above the average. Remember, average isn't your target unless you want average results. Use the downloadable checklist to see exactly how you stack up at every stage. And set mini goals to beat each number. Coming up, I'll show you exactly how compounding those small wins can transform your lifetime finances. And a few motivational stats to keep you going. But before we close, here's another quick engagement moment. If you're beating these averages or just realizing you need to play catch-up, drop your biggest money win or biggest challenge in the comments. Let's build each other up and learn together. Here's what all this data really tells us. Most Americans aren't falling behind for lack of opportunity or secret knowledge. It's just a series of small missteps and not checking the benchmarks. You don't need 6 figures. Luck or a windfall. Beat the average by a little in every major area. Save 2% more. Spend $500 less. Pay off one debt earlier. Invest a little every month. And the compounded difference over decades is enormous. Imagine, instead of spending the average $5,577 per month, you live happily on $4,500. You save the extra $1,000 a month, investing it each year, in 10 years, not including much investment growth. You'd have put aside $120,000 above the average household. Add even moderate market returns, and the advantage multiplies massively. The same applies all around. Earn a bit above $52,000, save more than 6%. Invest. Avoid high-interest debt, and you will not just survive, but thrive financially. Statistics aren't destiny. They're signposts showing what's possible when you steer a different course. One final takeaway. Everyone says they want financial peace, but very few people measure where they are and make incremental changes to get there. Don't let assumptions or fears stop you. If you're behind, you have decades to catch up. And if you're ahead, use that momentum to keep pushing. Use these numbers as motivation. Not excuses. Every step is progress. And you're never too late or too early to change your trajectory. Need tools? Download the benchmarking checklist and net worth tracker below. And consider sharing your own stats, anonymously, in the comments. We're building a real community here, and your transparency could inspire someone else. If you want even more actionable frameworks like this, smash the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Next week, I'll reveal exactly how I recommend structuring your savings accounts for stability and growth, based on historical research and proven examples. And don't forget to share this episode with a friend or relative who needs a wake-up call. The numbers might just be the nudge they need. Remember, these numbers are for educational purposes only. They are meant to help you benchmark and improve, not as one-size-fits-all advice. Always do your own research, check official sources, and consult a professional for major decisions. Your financial story is yours, and you get to write a new chapter starting today. All right, let's wrap up everything we've covered with a quick recap and set you up for action. Today, you learned exactly where the average American stands when it comes to income, spending, retirement savings, credit, net worth, and savings rates. All backed by authoritative sources like the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Federal Reserve, Experian, and more. You saw just how average can often mean dangerously underprepared. With only $65,000 saved for retirement and $9,000 in credit. Card debt being the norm, but here's the good news. You now have the 5-step framework anyone can use to rise above. Benchmark your net worth. Boost your savings rate to 15%. Eliminate high-interest debt. Invest consistently in low-cost index funds and review your goals regularly. Here's what I want you to do this week. Download the free benchmarking checklist and net worth tracker linked below. Spend 1 hour tallying up your true numbers and compare to the national benchmarks. Over the next 90 days, focus on boosting your savings rate or knocking down at least one high-interest debt long-term. Set calendar reminders to revisit these metrics every 3 to 6 months and track real progress. Ideally with the downloadable tools, so you can actually see your improvement. Most people never check these numbers, so even one small change now puts you far ahead for years to come. Expect to see initial clarity right away, small wins within a month or two, and compound results within a year if you stick to the steps. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So keep tracking, keep tweaking, and celebrate progress. Remember, the power of compounding applies to savings, investments, and habits. You'll be shocked what's possible in 3 to 5 years. Ready for more? Subscribe to Money Masters and hit the bell. Next episode, I'll walk through the exact savings account structure that will maximize your security and growth, all rooted in historical data. Comment below with your #1 question or challenge. I answer top comments each week and feature the best tips from our community. And if you found value here, share this video with someone who needs a financial wake-up call. Average isn't the finish line, it's the starting point. Let's write your above-average story together. And finally, these checklists, tools, and steps are for educational purposes only and shouldn't be taken as personalized financial advice. Do your own research, be skeptical, and consult a licensed professional for major financial decisions. Your future is in your hands. Let's make it a good one.